Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Reggs Automotive, where everything we do is hard. Getting back to top of the hour today, got a few things that are scheduled for us. It's been a while since I made a video. This is the kind of like the partial layout of what the sidewalks and the bike lanes are going to be. Bike lanes are going to be running right through here. More sidewalk again. We have sidewalks over here so the pedestrians can walk, and we have a problem. So, any patrons that's coming here to actually patronize the business would be in direct violation of the bike lane and the sidewalk. Because the most typical thing for you to do is to come down the street, get off the street, try to access the business. You are going to park your vehicle on this big, beautiful patch of concrete that we have here right now, which will put you in direct violation with the bike lane and or the walkway. So that cannot be good for business. But trick of the government is going to be wise of the population. So we're going to continue to do our best to put our best foot forward to be able to maximize whatever leverage we have here. All right, so top of the hour here we have today that we're working on. It's a 2019 Ford F150 Coyote V8 motor right here. And we have a problem with it. I'll explain it to you guys what really is going on with this engine. F150 19. Some guys usually take the cabs off of this F-150 in order for them to do the engine. But you know me, I'm a little different. I find things to be a little different in how I do things. I usually take the nose off of it and be able to access the motor out the front of the engine instead of having to worry about lifting the cab off of the frame. I'm not really a big fan of it. It does work for some people, but there is another way we can do things. However, whenever it comes to that, what's involved in it is for you to be able to take off the radiator support, and the radiant and the AC condenser will come out as a unit. Once you get that off, then you're able to gain access to the full layout of the engine here. And I'm sorry for the sunlight if you guys can't see. It's a beautiful fall morning, and we're just trying to mimic what I'm explaining here. So, 19 Coyote V8. Customer brought this vehicle to me, asking to replace the engine. Because it's such of a hard job, I decided to actually diagnose this engine before I actually wind up calling the junkyard. Brand new engine in the junkyard is like $4,500 with like 135,000 miles on it. It's pretty big penny. It's a lot of money. That's why I wanted to take a look at this one first before I wind up doing anything. I did find a problem with it. I might be able to fix it. The reason why I actually wind up pulling the cylinder head off of this engine, which that cylinder head is sitting right over here, I'll explain that in a minute, is because once I get the intake off of it, intake manifold, I decided to check the valves, because what happened to it is that we have a rocker arm that's actually snapped off, and when that rocker arm snapped, it kind of seized the camshaft and snap the chain, also the chain that actually rotate the camshafts, right? That's the chain that rotate the camshaft, and it actually wind up snapping the chain that goes around the cam sprocket right here. Oh my God, the sunlight is crazy, but we'll continue. So I poured take the intake manifold off and poured some water down the valve train, and we actually had water seeping into the cylinders from just by doing that. So I thought that we might have had some bent valves. So we wind up taking the cylinder head off, and it turns out apparently that we don't have any bent valves. This is how I usually test my valves instead of sending it out to the machine shop. Take the camshaft off and all the rockers, flip things over, and just insert a little bit of water on each one of the cylinders, as you can see right here. And this sat overnight, and as you can see, the water did not recede through the valve. So that is actually telling me that the cylinder head is still in good shape. We do have the broken rockers. They're down in the bottom of the pan right here. We're gonna have to replace those rockers and lifters and get a new timing chain set and try to put this thing back together. Make sure that we drain out the oil pan with all of the plastic guides and debris and stuff like that. So we're gonna be replacing. See, the chain is still on this one. This one is actually still slack. And this seems to be a big problem with these Coyote V8s, where the tensioner fails right here and collapses, and then the chain becomes loose. Whether oil pressure actually is not getting to it, I think it should be. But my big thing with these, I have no idea why they make these tensioners. Like, the tensioner body is usually made out of aluminum, and then the plunger is made out of probably some kind of cast iron material or something like that. I think the whole thing should be cast iron. It'll last a lot longer. And we won't have this problem with the V8s, because the thing that collapses is either, most of the times is the chain, is the tensioner that collapses and it makes the chain loose, and then the chain starts slapping up against the plastic guides, and then it snaps the guides off, and then you have a big problem. But we're going to put this one back together and try to see if we can save a little bit of money for a little bit of labor for the customer and us. 19 Coyote V8. Some guys do pull the cabs off of it in order to get it replaced, but I think it's much more straightforward by just pulling off the nose of the vehicle. You can put it back together, and I guess, you know, it'd be all right. So we're gonna get cracking on this. I gotta get in touch with the dealership so I can be able to order the chain and also replace the cam sprockets and the both sprockets, left and right side. So I had this like 4 sprockets on both sides. Put the new head gasket on, returk it, and see how it runs. Well, still got the lift working on the outside, and I happened to put like a makeshift roof system on it. That is actually was actually plastic zinc. Well, can't call it zinc. It's like a plastic material that's made out of a zinc roof form. And it's really, really light. I constructed this framing on it, and is only for us to shelter from the sun or actually the rain that actually falls, so it can have like a little roof system while working in the outside, enjoying the summer here up in Boston. Not for snow. Snow is definitely just gonna collapse that whole thing. So I'm gonna number everything off when I get ready to dismantle it. That way, next year when I decide to put it back together, I know exactly where it goes. You know, but we've been very busy replacing a lot of engines and stuff like that. This is a Pentastar engine that we just actually did replace. Came out of a 2019 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and they had a head gasket problem. Coolant's been mixing with the oil, and that is all set. The customer already picked the vehicle up, and the customer is on the road with the vehicle right now with the new engine. She purchased the engine. Engine cost $3,800. Could you imagine that? What is actually happening? This is ridiculous. $3,800 for an engine. So this is the actual extra parts that goes on to this motor. So the car is all set and ready to go. And we're getting started here today. Have this Mercedes. It's a W212 body style, and we put some nice rims on it recently for the customer, brand new tires. Then we discover that the subframe in the back is broken, rotted out, so we have to get a new subframe. The whole cradle has to come down in order for us to do that. So it looks like we got a job cut out for us. And then after that, we're gonna have to replace this transmission in this Camry. That's a video for another day. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I'll continue to keep you guys updated on the process on the Coyote V8. Once we get everything together, put it back together, and get it running, I'll show you guys if it turns out okay. Thanks for watching. Your boy Reggs is out.